Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live again from our comfy couch here in the outskirts here. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for May 18th, 2024, with your host, Peacemaker2448, and Ramp It Up, Saloon.
I swear I thought I hit that button.
So, what you all didn't hear, folks, is me and Tommy going through the first half of the episodes for this week. Tommy not answering, and then I'm like, oh, are we streaming? And then I see that we're not streaming, and I'm like, oh, we were talking to ourselves for like a good 20 solid minutes. Oops.
I swear I hit the button.
It's just one of those nights. It's just one of those nights. Nothing's cooperating. Nothing wants to do what we want. It does not want us to move on from Gridman. But I guess before I kind of want to just like quickly run through episodes 9 and 10. Any thoughts before we get into them?
I guess since apparently I didn't hit it for whatever reason, it kind of did the thing that I wasn't wanting it to do. Of the whole, last minute swap who the bad guy is.
Yep, here's Alexis to be our proper big bad, even though he's just been hanging out in the background the entire season.
I kind of feel like while they set that up, they should have done it a little better.
Yeah. But I guess anything else before I quickly run through 9 and 10?
No.
All right, episode 9, Dream. More or less, our trio are stuck in a dream, separate dreams via a new kaiju that's spreading this fog that's dropping them into it for the episode. Yuta does episode 1 again with Akane. Rika just gets to hang out with Akane for a little bit, and Utsumi hangs out with Akane more than he did before, and I think like 2 or 3 episodes ago when they met at not Mandarake. Flashes of Gridman and all sorts of reflective surfaces eventually kind of like wake the trio up, and they kind of break out of the dream. This lets Gridman break the monster's wings, which turns it tangible because it's been intangible this entire time, which is why the crew haven't tried to fight it. But they did stick Auntie on it for like 10 minutes to keep him busy so they could figure out what to do. They form giant robot powered Zenon, kill the monster, and that is the episode. 10, collapse. Akane is not doing so hot after this latest loss. So she's kind of like wandering around the city as she just tosses the monster. Alexis is like, do as you please, I don't care anymore. We do see the crew try to go confront Akane, who lives next door to Rika. And they mentioned this in dialogue 2 episodes ago, but didn't really show it till now. And I just find it hilarious that they just walk 5 steps next door to go confront our big bads of the season. And also that everything that has been important between the 2 of them has been happening next door. But days pass, no kaiju attack until Alexis just drops a kind of crudely finished one on the city. Our team warns the school about it. They go and fight it, kind of knock it out in one punch. Auntie also shows up. They knock him down and tell him to just let it go. You're not a real kaiju. You're a kind of a person now. So we can't kill you. So like, maybe do better. But then another kaiju pops out of the crudely made one, kills all the ones that have been repairing the city and kind of resetting it back to square one. And with them dead, the city's not resetting. Gridman crew try to fight it. Gridman, full power Gridman specifically, gets ripped apart. To base Gridman gets almost strangled out until Auntie shows up as Grid Knight, kills that monster, and then walks away. But that's when Akane shows up at the shop and stabs Yuta in the gut with a box cutter that we just barely catch as the episode ends. So that puts us halfway through the episode. How you feel about that first half?
I mean, I honestly feel like I didn't get aggravated till the back half when Alexis just randomly is now taking villain role.
Pretty much the final episode.
Yeah. And it was more, I didn't get aggravated, it was more I was just disappointed that it completely did exactly what I was expecting it to do, just at the wrong timing.
Yeah. I kind of wish maybe there was a better, like, if events were shuffled back like 2 episodes and we had like 2 more episodes with Alexis as villain.
Yeah.
That would, I think, help a lot. But that's kind of like the downside of having 12 episodes is if you screw up, it feels real bad at the end.
Because I mean, in all seriousness, from the first moment that we see Alexis, even before we even know the name, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That kind of feels like that is intentionally final villain kind of deal. I just feel like we had just that weird handoff of, okay, well, you know what? We have to do this because we have to.
All right. Anything else before we get to the back half?
No.
All right. Episode 11, Decisive Battle. Everybody scrambles to Yuta, who is bleeding out on the floor. And I will point out that the stab is a lot more visceral at the start of 11 than it was at the end of 10 for some reason. Like the end of 10, it's like, oh, just stab, dead. 11 feels like a more like stab and like she pulled out real hard because there is a lot more blood. I don't know if it's just a thing for dramatic purposes or what, but it's an odd like difference when you catch it.
It's probably just dramatic.
Mm-hmm. She also trashes Junk on the way out because no one decides to stop her and keep her there. Everyone's too busy going, oh god, Yuta's dying. Rika's mom shows up and is like, I will call an ambulance. Tries to, no service, because like I said, the city has went through 2 monster attacks. Phone lines are dead. Cell phone service is dead. There is no means of contacting anyone. So they pretty much have to bundle him up and run him to the hospital themselves. They do get him there. He's stabilized, but he's unconscious for now. Rika also heads out at this point to try to find Akane because Akane is her friend. And as much as she's done a really stupid thing, she wants to believe that her friend is not that terrible of a person. Also, Itsumi is just stuck blaming himself because he feels that he's useless. Alexis does catch up with Akane first, wants some more kaiju made from her, and she's like, I killed Gridman. I did what you wanted. Piss off. I'm done. And he's like, fine, and just makes a bunch of copies of kaiju that we fought so far. This is when Auntie steps up because he tells the crew, it's like, hey, I'll help. Even if I don't really know what that means, I will at least try. And so he is Grid Knight, goes and fights the kaiju and stuff. The crew do land on fixing Junk because Junk is connected to Gridman and Gridman is connected to Yuta. Therefore, fixing Junk should fix Yuta. Somehow. We don't know how this works. We're hoping for a miracle. Rick also heads out once more to look for Akane. I think at this point she runs into, or I think in the previous run-in, she runs into 2 of her friends, and they kind of like help her get steady before she heads back out. But as Junk gets repaired, we find out that the Yuta we've been talking to and interacting with all season is not Yuta. It's actually a fragment of Gridman from the start of the season that did not remember he was Gridman. And they kind of foreshadow that there was fuckery going on with Gridman because 6 pieces or 6 lights were seen in the sky. And And so far, there's only five like parts of Gridman that we've seen so far. Gridman and his 4 crew. So that last piece ended up in Utah. And I think it's specifically the piece that we saw go down instead of go out. But Uzumi's a bit shaken up about this because he gets to be the first one that finds out. But Yuta heads out. Him and the crew head out to help Knight. They end up taking out most of the monsters. Rika ends up finding Akane, tries to reason with her and talk to her, but Alexis shows up and is just like, she's down, depressed, and lonely and all that. That's perfect fodder for me to turn her into a monster, and then turns her into a monster as we cut to black. Taking us to episode 12, Awakening, which is also the name of the first episode, but they are spelled differently, at least in Japanese. I don't know the specifics of the differences, but it is technically spelled different. Anti ends up being the one to go after the new kaiju that shows up because he knows Akane's in there. And I do like that audio-wise, you can actually hear Akane screaming when the monster screams. And I think it's sometimes more her than the monster at points, which is a nice touch. I also do like that Rika talks to Alexis and try to figure out what the hell his deal is. And I love that she sounds like she's about to throw hands with this 8-foot-tall fucking alien. Like, she is... When Yuta comes to pick her up, I am pretty sure she is so close to doing, like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm fighting you. You're standing here. How hard could it be? But Yuta does pick her up and runs her back so our team can go fight. Well, Yuta and Rika go pick up Utsumi first and kind of get him out of his funk, so our team is all on the same page. Auntie does manage to pull Akane free of the kaiju. Unfortunately, this is when Alexis shows up, stabs him, throws him off the side, and is like, well, the monster didn't work. I'm just gonna eat you and grow big. So now Alexis is just big giant monster with Akane in the center. But with everybody together and like Gridman finally fully remembering who he is, all 5 of our crew get the original acceptor, the little wrist henshin device from the original series to turn into Gridman. So they do that. They go in the computer. Rick and Utsumi enter in the Gridman code, and that's when we also see what the S4 for this series stands for on the screen, which is Special Signature to Save a Soul, i.e. the entire point of this season is supposed to be Gridman trying to save Akane, which is the entire point of Gridman showing up in the first place. Before everything got derailed super hard for 12 episodes. But because of this, we get the original Gridman theme playing as Gridman turns into his original form from that series. And for anyone wondering why anytime Gridman gets mentioned, people go, Baby Don Don intensifies, that's because that's the first lyrics of the song. Why is it the first lyrics of the song? I have no idea. All I know is that song starts by going, Baby Don Don, and I just bop along with it. And so does everyone else. But anyway, Gridman now squares up against Lexus. Unfortunately, we find out that Lexus is kind of immortal. Well, less immortal and more just, he can take damage. He can just kind of walk it off Wolverine style. So I assume it hurts, but not enough to kill him, unfortunately. So he kind of just starts walking off everything Gridman shoots at him until on his last leg, with the theme of this show playing, Gridman pulls out his ace, which is the Fixer Beam, which ends up fixing the city, removing the kaiju, kind of turning everything back to normal, and I guess kind of overloading Alexis's healing factor so that our trio can contact Akane in Alexis and more or less talk her out of essentially the depressed state that she has been in since probably before this series started, because this kind of gets into like more interpretation territory because they never state this anywhere. But essentially Akane has depression and has like a lot of isolation anxiety stuff. And she more or less locked herself up in this world that she created. Because I believe this is a digital world of some sort, I assume. I have no idea the specifics on that. Because again,
I would have to think so.
We're in hard interpretation territory, folks. But that's why she's here, and the only way she can get better is to not be here anymore, which gets into the ending a little bit. But anyway, they talk her out. She metaphorically walks through the door of her room that she's been in this entire season. She's saved. Gridman seals up Alexis into a little cube. So that problem's solved. Akane and Rika have one last talk in the room. And Rika makes Akane promise her to never come back. That this is the last time we see each other. Don't come back. Go live your life. Go back to your home. Go be better. And then Akane just flips out of existence along with all her stuff, including her air conditioner, which apparently Japanese fans had a laugh about. The room air conditioner above their heads just goes poof with her. I don't know why, but apparently Japanese fans found that hilarious. Even though all the stuff around her too just goes poof with her. Something about the air conditioning. But she does get that pass holder that has the Matrix of Leadership from Optimus Prime on it with her. It's me also just kind of like, it's like, I didn't really have anything to say to Akane, but her and Rika see Gridman and crew off because we see Yuta with them, but we see it's kind of like a quick cut, and then we see that it's Gridman and Yuta's not with them because that is technically Gridman. But the five of them take Alexis and kind of like head off through a portal. Rika then asks about Auntie, but they're like, Auntie's not coming with us. He's kind of doing his own thing. Bye. And so they head off through a portal to wherever a hyper agent is needed, because we don't know what a hyper agent is or what they do. We just know that they hopscotch around worlds and stuff and do this. That's about all we know. But the snow rolls in as the actual Yuta wakes up with Rika and Itsumi. We do catch up with Auntie real quick because Second saved him, along with her dad, I believe. I don't remember the context from the original series, but I believe that's her dad in the background. And she's like, hey, you want to come with us? And Auntie's like, sure. And we see that his other eye is blue now, kind of representing, I guess, the humanity in him. But we end the series in the real world. I'm putting in quotations because this is a live action shot. And this is Akane, like real Akane, waking up in her bed from the dream world. Again, I'm putting these in hard quotations that she ended up creating. And that's the last shot we have of the series. So how do you feel about the back half? Yep. Tommy, you there?
Yep.
So, how do you feel about the back half?
I feel like like I said at the beginning, I kind of feel like the final villain thing kind of was meh. But outside of that, I feel like it actually ended pretty good, kind of deal.
Yeah. It's a rough path to get there, but where we end up is really good. This is just a troubled kid who just needed a hug and some people around her that would be good influences on her. And she kind of got it in this world, but this isn't where she belongs. She belongs in the real world, the real world. So she ends up going there. And as far as we know, she's in a better place. We won't get too much into it until we get to the movie, but as far as we know, Akane's in a better place now. I do want to mention one little thing about Akane and Rika's relationship, because you can kind of read it two different ways because of, I believe, the music video for Gridman's theme. Because the actress that plays real life Akane hangs out with someone in that music video, not unlike Akane and Rika hang out with each other. So you can either take Akane and Rika's relationship in the series as that is the relationship Akane wants to have with that girl, because I believe the music video is set after the series, technically. Or because Rika does look like Akane in real life, you can take it that Rika is like essentially Akane, but real her, whereas the Akane in the series is fake her. It's kind of two different interpretations of that relationship, whether it is a want for a friendship and maybe more than that, or a self-love. But that is, again, kind of up to your interpretation, because there's things about the show that are up to you at this point, because they have not said a damn thing otherwise. And I'm kind of okay with that, because it's not the important stuff. I guess anything else?
No.
All right, then. 2 weeks from now, we start the other S4 series with S4 Dynazenon. My personal opinion, the better of the two. I think they learned a lot of lessons from the show and made the better one. But between now and then, tomorrow it is Path Hints Randomizer for KH2. Thursday I'm continuing Chrono Trigger. Friday... So I try to pull up the schedule real quick.
I don't remember either.
I was trying to pull it up, but I accidentally closed the tab I was using to try to do that.
Oh. Let's do a Mario-based multi-world.
Okay. I was like, it's out of order. Which one's which? Mario Multi-World, yes. And then next Saturday will be TGS. And like I said, 2 weeks from now, we start S4 Dynazenon, which is another little 12-episode series. So if you like what you're seeing, folks, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Shipping away that affiliate goal at TGSaloon on Twitter and at TGSaloon on Mastodon, or at TGSNetwork.mastodon.social. We'll give you information when we go live. Exclamation point, Discord, tag, Discord link. Drop by, say hi. See you tomorrow, folks.